Quick question before we start. Do you know how hot your attic actually gets on a summer afternoon? Not the room below it, the attic itself. Most homeowners have never checked, and that single unchecked number is quietly adding hundreds of dollars to your cooling bill every single year. An attic with a dark shingle roof can reach 140 to 160 degrees on a sunny afternoon, even when it's 85 outside. That heat does not stay up there. It pushes straight down into your insulation, your ceiling, and the rooms you're trying to cool. There is an $18 fix, a roll of foil, and the reason most homes still don't have it has nothing to do with whether it works. I'm Gig. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how hot your own attic is right now and what to do about it. So here's the real question. If your attic already has insulation, why would you need anything else? Good question. Here's the part insulation alone cannot solve. Insulation slows down conducted heat moving through direct contact, like touching a hot pan. But most of the heat pouring into your attic on a sunny day is not conduction, it's radiation. Heat traveling as invisible light waves, the same way sunlight warms your skin from across an entire room. Insulation is genuinely bad at stopping radiant heat. It's built to trap air, not reflect light waves. So what actually reflects radiant heat? A shiny, low emissivity surface, something like aluminum foil. Radiant barrier material is exactly that, a reflective aluminum surface installed in your attic specifically to bounce that radiant heat back toward the roof before it ever reaches your insulation. Here's a way to picture it. Insulation is like a thick blanket. It slows down heat. A radiant barrier is like a mirror. It bounces heat away entirely before it even gets to the blanket. You need both. Most homes only have one. Now, here's where it gets interesting. How much difference does a mirror in your attic actually make? The U.S. Department of Energy's Building America program has tracked this for years. Documented field testing shows radiant barriers reduce heat flow into the attic by roughly 40%. Peer-reviewed studies published through Science Direct measured attic temperature drops ranging from 3 degrees up to 23 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on the home and the existing insulation level. The first layer of foil alone blocks at least 90% of radiant heat gain. A second layer adds almost nothing. The first sheet already does the heavy lifting. Here's the honest part almost nobody tells you. If your attic already has excellent insulation, say R30 or higher, the extra benefit is smaller because there's already very little heat getting through to reduce. But if your attic has old, thin, or gappy insulation, which describes most homes built before the 1990s, a radiant barrier is one of the highest return on investment upgrades you can make in a single afternoon. Here's a question worth sitting with. If this material has been studied by the Department of Energy since 1989, why isn't it standard in every home built since then? The answer is not that it doesn't work. The research is clear that it does. The answer is building codes. Radiant barriers are not the mandatory prescriptive path in most state building codes. California's Title 24 code is one of the very few that requires it in most climate zones, and only when certain other conditions aren't already met. Everywhere else, it's optional, which means builders, working to hit a price point, routinely skip it. It costs the builder somewhere between $200 and $500 for an average home when installed during construction. It saves the homeowner an estimated 8 to 10% of total cooling costs every single year after that, for the life of the roof. The builder pays once, the homeowner saves forever. But the builder isn't the one paying the electric bill for the next 20 years. That's not a conspiracy, that's just where the incentive quietly breaks down. So how do you actually do this in your own attic this weekend? Here's exactly what you need. Material: reflective radiant barrier foil, either perforated rolls or foil-faced insulation board. Perforated is preferred. It allows moisture to escape so you don't trap humidity in your attic. Cost: roughly 15 to 25 cents per square foot. For an average 1,500 square foot attic floor, that's typically under $300 in material. Tools needed: a staple gun, a utility knife, and a straight edge. Nothing specialized. Now, where do you actually put it? There are two common installation methods. Pick based on your attic type. Method 1. Staple to the rafters. If your attic is unfinished and you can see the roof rafters, staple the foil directly to the underside of the rafters, shiny side facing down toward the attic space. This creates an air gap between the foil and the roof deck, which is important because radiant barriers need an air space next to the reflective surface to work properly. Method 2, laid over the attic floor. If you're working from above, foil-faced insulation board can be laid directly over your existing insulation, reflective side facing up. One critical detail that gets skipped constantly: do not let the foil touch the roof deck directly. If it's pressed flat against the underside of your roof, it stops reflecting and starts conducting, which defeats the entire purpose. Always maintain that air gap. Overlap each sheet by at least 2 inches and staple every 12 to 18 inches along the rafters to prevent sagging. That's the entire installation. One afternoon, under $300 for most homes. So here's the real question you should be asking right now. Does your attic actually need this?
Before we get to whether your attic actually needs this, most people are still paying for something nature already solved. Every build on this channel, the copper coil, the earth tube, the wind catcher, the ghost shelter, and now this radiant barrier, is documented in one complete guide. Full blueprints, step-by-step installs, zero guesswork. Real physics, not internet guesses. The complete off-grid guide is linked in the description below and pinned in the comments. And if you're not sure which system fits your home, there is a free consultation. Just ask. Link is in the description. Pinned comment has it too. Now, back to the question that actually matters for your attic.
If you have thin, old, or gappy insulation, yes, almost certainly. If you already have deep, well-installed insulation at R30 or higher, the return is smaller, and your money might be better spent sealing air leaks first. The way to know for sure: climb up on a hot afternoon with a simple infrared thermometer and point it at your roof deck and then at your insulation surface. If there's a big gap between those two numbers, a radiant barrier will close it. A few honest notes before you climb up there. This is a summer cooling tool primarily. In winter, most heat loss through attics happens through convection, warm air rising, not radiation. A radiant barrier does very little for winter heating bills. It also will not fix poor attic ventilation or air leaks around ductwork and fixtures. Those need separate attention. And shingle temperature does rise slightly, typically 2 to 5 degrees, with a radiant barrier installed. Every major roofing manufacturer has confirmed this does not void shingle warranties, but it's worth knowing. This is not a replacement for insulation. It's a partner to it, the mirror working alongside the blanket. $18, 1 roll, 1 afternoon. A 40% reduction in radiant heat reaching your living space, documented by the Department of Energy, not a sales brochure. The physics has been proven since 1989. The only reason it's not already in your attic is because nobody was required to put it there. If you want to see how a similar reflective barrier principle keeps a body invisible to a thermal drone, that video is already on this channel. Link is right here. I'm Gick. Climb up, check your attic, test it.